And that was the video, guys. Write down. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I've taken up this portfolio to do my due diligence, and I'll be responsible enough to tell you why I vehemently still stand by this movie not being worth your time, money, and even the risk of going to the theater during this pandemic. The audience and filmmakers right now have to establish a symbiotic relationship where one benefits the other in some shape or form for progression. While the filmmakers are formulating projects to motivate us to go into theaters, we have the ability through our choice to revive an industry that has been suffering for several months. Sadly, the Hindi film projects that have released in theaters are not motivating audiences at all. And trust me, Indoo Ki Jawani is one of those films that just doesn't excite anyone. Even if you're a diehard Kiara Advani or Aditya Seal fan. You know a film is destined not to do so well when majority of its production budget is actually catered for shooting its music videos. Irrespective, the film focuses on Indira Gupta, played by Kiara Advani, a resident of Ghaziabad that finds it tough to meet a suitable boy for herself. Yeah, that's believable. Kiara is struggling. Anyway, contemplating losing her virginity, aka Jawani, she hops on dating apps and stumbles upon a person who hails from Pakistan called Summer, played by Aditya Seal. The meeting between the two characters, also in the backdrop, has intelligence officers hunting down two Pakistani terrorists who are on the run. What Indoo Ki Jawani also possesses are horny uncles, nosy neighbors, socially problematic messaging, dick comparing contests between countries, and the trope of a small town and its restrictive thinking. The film is directed by Abir Sen Gupta, who has also created the MX Player series Pati Patni or Panga, which is a whole different story, by the way, which I will come to sooner or later. Indoo Ki Jawani is a film that really irked me. You know, I don't mind carefree Bollywood comedies, I'm actually a huge fan of them. While movies like Chalang and Suraj Pe Mangal Bhari got scathing reviews, I actually had fun watching these films. Indoo Ki Jawani, however, pales in comparison to even be remotely as funny. I remember maybe laughing once or twice in the film, and it was only due to Malika Dua, who plays a supporting character by the name of Sonal, who bantos Gyan regarding relationships constantly. Even though most of her dialogues can become rather crass, Malika channelizes her accent she has mastered on social media of how men and women interact in the NCR. The comic timing of the artist is honestly exceptional and may just mark the return of female comedic actors that have been missing in the commercial Hindi space for so long. Similarly, another actor, Shivam Kakkad, who plays the neighborhood creep, who you may remember from Flames, is very funny as well. However, the writing of this film will make you so uncomfortable in several situations. I don't want to be a prude regarding sexual content, but because Indoo is curious to understand what may happen under the shades for the first time, a lot of the dialogues are regarding sex, virginity, porn, and relationships, but all with a restrictive and rather asinine treatment. Indoo tells her boyfriend in the first scene, "Shaadi ke baad in out khel lena." Malika Dua keeps on referring to coitus as ladko ko jhanda gaadna hai. While this may hurt your ears and contemplate why you stepped into the theater, the social context of a lot of its scenes are even more problematic. You know, I was still okay. I convinced myself ki Jani bas thoda sa hi cringy writing hai, but maybe it'll get better. How bad can it really get? And then I saw Aditya Seal running around Indoo's house, crouching and uncomfortable because he wanted to desperately pee, while a virtual pishapo meter keeps on rising on the side, denoting the pressure he is developing to urinate. And I was like, ye ho kya raha hai? You know, actors that you really respect and want the best for because you identify their potential as artists and what they can achieve. That's what I feel about Kiara and Aditya. And when they willingly jump on a creative venture that is destined to crash and burn, you can only be disappointed on why they signed on the dotted line. The editing of the film features mirror shattering as transitions, comic book thinking clouds as conversations between characters, and it's all too gimmicky and all over the place. See, if you technically look at it, the film tries to capture what happens if an attractive girl grows up in a small city where the society is so interconnected that everyone knows what people are up to and who they are interacting with. This, of course, like many women may experience, leads to creepy uncles posing as caring paternal figures wanting to cop a feel constantly, the preteen delinquents constantly fantasizing about dating the attractive woman, and so on. But it's rather uncomfortable to see actors like Rakesh Bedi licking their lips whenever they come on screen, enchanted by the presence of Indoo, or actors like Rajendra Sethi insisting on spending time with her in her house just because she is alone. I get the point of the film to communicate the creepiness, but it doesn't serve anything but as comedic gags, so actually making light of a situation where characters might feel suffocated. I also get the point with the restrictive mindsets that come with storylines set in small towns. There are bound to be socially problematic dialogues, but there are so many that I just couldn't give it a pass. Jamie, give it a break, it's a fictional story. Nah, dude, it's downright wrong. I'll give you a few examples. Malika is extremely happy in one instance that her boyfriend is satisfying her in bed, so she blushes and tells Indoo, अब तो वो मुझे अपनी personal property मानने लगा है. Malika's character constantly advises Indoo that the only solution of making a guy fall in love with you is to have sex with him, pressurizing her to think that the men will only gravitate towards her if she gives out instantly. While the analogy of doing multiple test drives before buying a car is fine, it does set a wrong precedent that the only way to trap a guy is to have sex with him, and he will have no option but to stay. There is a scene past office comedy where a character spikes Indoo's drink and barges into her house in the guise of protecting her. When his friends get to know about this, they say, दारू तो आपने ही पिलाई है, अब नींबू भी चटा दो. Yup, that's a dialogue. Indoo Ki Jawani is a world of fake book, Dinder, and advice to become a perfect wife that includes a combo of Ekta Kapoor in the afternoon and Honey Leon at night. I kept on wondering what I was doing with the 6 people in the theatre. I also contemplated whether I'm a little too harsh, as the several months that have passed, we have been subjected to more thought-provoking content on the OTT platform. Is it that I've become too analytical regarding films such as Indoo Ki Jawani? I have to tell you that that's not the case at all. It's staggeringly dumb and it's plain and simple. What makes the film even more irritating is the constant back and forth between Kiara and Aditya comparing India and Pakistan. While one says problematic dialogues कि तुम्हारे घर में तो बच्चा पैदा होता है तो celebration होती होगी कि एक जिहादी पैदा हो गया, साथ hijacking करेगा. Aditya points out the crime against women and intolerance in India, and while all of this happens, you start to think, what's the point of all of this? I get the messaging of the film trying to tell you not to judge a book by its cover or generalize an entire population based on some bad elements, but dude, the writing just propagates the same stereotypes with little to no change or even evolution of its characters. Twitter would have a field day with this film, one side enraged and the other thinking that this is anti-national. I really hope Kiara and Aditya are more conscious of their creative decisions in the future, as they genuinely are talented individuals who are terribly wasted in a horrible script in this case. I understand the lure for an actor like Kiara to do main leads in films, especially in the commercial space. But if the same path of mediocrity persists, this will finally develop into the case of the masses associating bad projects with the actor. The same goes for Aditya, whose true potential the masses still have not seen. We're rooting for both of you to stand out in this space, and Indoo Ki Jawani just isn't it. It's not even close. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about the movie. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.